give it up for Lindsey Loon! Hey y'all, I'm Lindsey Loon. How you doing tonight? Alright, so I'm Lindsey like Lohan, but not. And Loon like Looney Tunes. Close enough. So I really love pickup lines in other languages. Do you guys want to hear my German pickup line?
Yes.
Alright. Du bist so heiß. Ich könnte Pfannkuchen auf deinem Arsch braten. Does anyone speak German? I can tell you that means whatever I want. It means you're so hot I could fry a pancake on your arsch. Big friends with breakfast food. Yeah, no, I really do love the sound of German, like Lederhosen, Scheiße, Achtung. It really has such an emotional rainbow to it. And I think part of the reason that I react so strongly to it is that my grandmother used to speak to me in Yiddish. And she'd say, Ich hut dich lieb, mein Kätzele. I love you, my little kitten. And then she'd say, Geh kacken auf in Yam. Go shit on the seashore. Just the whole range of emotions, you know, from joy to intergenerational trauma. Yeah. So I'm from Massachusetts originally. Anybody from Massachusetts?
Yes.
Yeah? Fuck Massachusetts. We are wicked rude, y'all. We are wicked rude. We're so rude they call us massholes. And by they I mean us. We did that to ourselves. Yeah, we did. But that's where I was born. That's where I grew up. But that's not where my people are from. My family's actually from two very different places. We're Jewish and half hillbilly. I'm a Jew-billy. My father's family's from the mountains of North Carolina, and my mother's is from 5,784 years of Jewish survival. I'm both a Jew-billy and a Jew-belly. I'm a Jew-billy belly. I got this from moonshine and Manischewitz. I take my matzo balls bacon wrapped. And our yarmulkes say, God bless NASCAR. So my father's an astrophysicist. I know what you're thinking. Another hillbilly astrophysicist. But he takes his equations and his parenting quite seriously. And he speaks in small capital letters for emphasis. And he's very efficient about things. So we had this conversation once, and I was opening my heart to him, and I was like, Dad, I want to move to LA. I want to be a comic. I want to live the creative life. And he said, don't get pregnant. And watch your sodium intake. I don't know how he knew that my fantasy was to have sex on a bed of potato chips. That man is insightful. Maybe he read it in the stars. He called me up the other week, and he had something. He gathered a lot of data, and he'd come to a conclusion, and he had to share it with me. And he said, Lindsey, I'd like to apologize for your childhood. When you came along, your mother and I were ranked amateurs. I think we've done much better with your sister. That was just God's truth, y'all. Everybody thinks they've done much better with my sister. And I'm cheering for her. My sister is amazing, and I like to cheer for other women. I'm cheering for everyone in this room, women, allies. Let's give it up for the festival. Woo! Yeah, I love women. I love being a woman. I love the fact that we all got here through a woman. I mean, it's gross, but Mom did that right? Yeah. So it really bothers me when people speak badly about women. You know, and women, sometimes we do it too. I've heard women say things like, women, we're the worst. We're passive aggressive. You know what's worse than passive aggressive? Every other kind of aggressive. Try aggressive. I mean, women, when we go wrong, we fill the world with mass hysteria. When men go wrong, they fill the world with mass graves. Too true. Too true, man. Oh, wow. Yeah. No, it's true, though. I mean, it's a PSA, but like over 90% of violent crimes are committed by men. What? Anyway, yeah, dead silence. Much like many of their dates. No, it makes me feisty, and sometimes there's nothing to do but leave the country. I get that travel bug, you know. I'm a wandering Jew-billy. And I lived overseas in Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and the one thing all those places have in common, they're far. They're so far, if you went any further, you would start coming back. So I spent a lot of time in airplanes. And every time I'm on an airplane, heading off for an adventure, I think, I'm going to die. Because I am terrified of flying. I am so scared of flying, y'all. And I leave buying tickets to the last minute. So one time there was nothing else left. I got a middle seat flying back from Japan. Because I think when you're really scared of something, you should do it for a minimum of 10 hours. Middle seat. I told myself, Lindsay, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. I get to the plane, 2 sumo wrestlers, one on either side. And I look at them, and I look at me, and I think, we're all squishy. Because my body type is cuddle. And when it comes to chubby, those guys are professionals. Yeah. So I thought about it, and I was like, yes! Airbags! If this plane goes down, this aisle is bubble wrapped. Yeah. So I have a boyfriend. You can cheer a little more for that, dog. It's a disaster. Oh, it's hard, man. It's hard. His name is Mike. What is it with the mics, right? You know, I think as a comic I spend time with another Mike. But at least this Mike listens to me. And stays hard. Now that joke is entirely for me. That's not our problem. But we have problems. We've been on and off for 7 years, y'all. Did I break a mirror? I mean, 7 years. 7 years is so long. I was thinking the other day, and then I realized, wait, it's just 1 year in dog years. And then I realized I did that math wrong. It's 49 years in dog years. My granny gave me some advice. She said, Lindsay, you just gotta find yourself someone that you don't want to kill. Every day. You're still gonna want to kill him most days, honey, but every day is bad. And little grandma. But I don't want to kill Mike every day. You know, I love him. Yeah. And my dad loves him. Because he thinks Mike has good character. And character is really important to my dad. And he loves sports because he thinks sports are character building. So when I was in high school, I very briefly went through a sporty phase. I watched my diet, I lost a lot of weight. My dad was supportive, but he was too supportive. And he would say things like, it's character building to feel hungry all the time. So one day we're sitting in the kitchen, and my dad says something about food, like, don't eat any. And my mom says, Jordan, stop talking to her that way. You're going to make her an anorexic. And he said, she doesn't have the discipline to be an anorexic. And he's right, y'all, I don't. I have the discipline for self-care, you know? And when I lived in Japan, I used to love going to the Japanese baths. And one day I went, and you know, I looked a little different from other people because sometimes I was the only foreigner, so I was the only one without pixelated genitals. And there was this little old lady staring at me. And I thought, respect your elders, look away. But before I did, I noticed that her breasts were amazing. Game recognized game, y'all. Hers were pendulums. And she came swinging towards me. 本当に白いね。全体. You really are white. All over. Yeah. And then I spent 9 years learning Japanese just to tell you all that joke. All we can ask for from each other is truth and some kindness. Find me on Instagram, Lindsey Loon Official, because I'm Lindsey and I'm officially a loon. You got it all. Lindsey Loon!